ready to tackle fear and find out what it really takes to achieve success.
Let's do it.
We've got a whole stack of sources to dive into today.
Sounds like fun. What are we looking at?
Everything from straight-up self-help advice to inspiring stories.
Okay.
Oh, and even some philosophy thrown in for good measure.
I like it.
We're talking How I Conquered Fear, and you can too. Stay strong. You can make it. How much can you handle?
Okay.
The true price of success and law of life.
So we're going to like distill the wisdom and walk away with some actionable insights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting how many of these sources link success and fear together.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's almost like they're two sides of the same coin.
Totally.
Like How I Conquered Fear and You Can Too
Yeah.
jumps right into that classic definition. Fear as false evidence appearing real.
Right.
But they don't just stop there. They break down how conquering fear is like 80% psychology and only 20% mechanics.
Which I think is important because it emphasizes that so much of it really is about shifting your mindset.
Right, turning those shoulds into musts.
Because
Because that belief in yourself is seriously powerful.
Absolutely. It's like we often get in our own way.
Right.
And so much of success comes down to, mastering those internal battles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, it's not just about positive thinking. How much can you handle? Uses this really cool analogy.
Oh, I like a good analogy. What is it?
It's a sword being tempered. Heated and cooled to make it stronger.
Yeah.
And the author connects that process to our own personal growth,
Oh, interesting.
saying that the challenges we face are like those bursts of heat.
Yeah.
They're forging us into something more resilient.
I love that. It's like turning those obstacles into opportunities for growth.
Exactly. And both How I Conquered Fear and You Can Too, and How Much Can You Handle? Zero in on the power of focus.
Okay, yeah. Focus is huge.
It's not just about gritting your teeth and bearing it. It's about consciously choosing where you direct your attention.
Absolutely. Like being intentional with your energy and your thoughts.
Exactly. It's about controlling your thoughts, and finding the positive in any situation.
That ties in beautifully with stay strong, you can make it. They have this incredibly powerful quote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." Like, wow, just let that sink in for a moment.
Yeah.
What if we're actually holding ourselves back because we're afraid of our own potential?
That's deep. It's like we create these self-imposed limits without even realizing it.
Exactly. And these sources are all saying, hey, instead of shrinking back from those challenges, lean in.
Embrace them.
Yes. How much can you handle? It even goes so far as to say, we are never given more than we can handle. And I think that's such a powerful statement.
Yeah, it is. It's like a call to action.
It is.
Embrace the discomfort, knowing it's shaping you into something stronger.
I love that. It reminds me of The True Price of Success. They share the story about a young reporter. He's standing in the middle of a typhoon doing a live broadcast.
Oh, wow.
Talk about stepping outside your comfort zone.
Right. That's intense.
And it illustrates their point perfectly. Achieving significant goals often means doing things that make us uncomfortable.
It's about pushing past those boundaries,
Yep.
right?
And becoming more capable individuals in the process.
Totally. And the true price of success doesn't shy away from the fact that success comes with a price.
Right.
But they're not just talking about money or resources.
It's about personal transformation.
Exactly. The author says you'll never achieve those goals as you are now. You really must become a whole different person, a bigger person, a stronger, more capable person. That resonates with How I Conquered Fear, and You Can Too, as well. They talk about how true self-esteem comes from forcing yourself to do those difficult things.
Pushing yourself beyond your limits.
Exactly. And by
Yeah.
taking on those challenges, we build confidence, we expand our comfort zones.
It's a cycle, right? Like facing challenges builds confidence, which then allows you to tackle bigger challenges and so on.
It is. But how do we even start that cycle if fear is holding us back?
Well, that's where law of life comes in.
Yeah.
They introduce this idea of personal responsibility, arguing that we have the power to change our circumstances.
It's about becoming aware of those thoughts and beliefs that are driving our actions, right?
Exactly. It's about asking yourself, are we letting fear make our choices for us? Or are we consciously choosing thoughts and actions that are going to move us towards our goals?
It's like law of life is giving us the keys to the driver's seat.
Yes.
We're not just passengers on this journey.
We have the power to steer.
We have control.
Exactly. And a big part of that control comes from mindfulness and self-awareness. Law of Life highlights the importance of meditation,
Okay.
the way to quiet the mind, increase that self-awareness, and tap into, that inner wisdom.
That's interesting because it connects back to those focus techniques in How I Conquered Fear, and you can too.
It does. It's all connected.
It's like by training our minds to be more present, to be attentive, we can manage our thoughts and emotions more effectively.
It's like these sources are all giving us a toolkit for personal transformation.
Yeah.
They're showing us we have the power to conquer our fears, embrace challenges, and ultimately create the life we want.
And it's not just about external success. It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves in the process.
Exactly. It's an inside-out approach.
So as we move into the next part of our deep dive, I want you to think about this.
What's one specific fear that has been holding you back?
Yeah. And how can you use these ideas, these tools, to start overcoming that fear and moving closer to your goals?
It's not always these massive life-changing fears, is it? This whole idea of stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It applies to everyday stuff too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like How I Conquered Fear, and you can too. They even talk about how everyday things can be opportunities to practice,
Oh, interesting. Like what kind of things?
Going to a party,
Okay.
giving a presentation at work.
Right.
These can all be chances to practice controlling your thoughts and emotions.
It's about being more aware of that internal dialogue, right?
Yes.
Are we letting those negative thoughts just run wild?
Mm.
Or are we consciously choosing to, focus on the positive?
Exactly.
Even in those little things, we can train our minds to be more resilient.
Absolutely. And the author gives us some pretty practical tools for doing that. Like they talk about using physical movement.
Oh, interesting.
They call it the body technique.
Okay.
And it's about actually shifting your emotional state. And then there's a focus technique,
Okay.
which is all about, consciously directing your attention towards what you want to achieve.
So it's like hacking your own system.
Kind of, yeah.
Using your body and your mind to work for you instead of against you.
Right. And it all connects back to law of life and that idea that we're ultimately responsible for the quality of our lives.
Absolutely.
It starts with owning our thoughts and our emotions.
And that's a powerful idea. It's not just about the stuff happening around us. It's about creating an internal environment that's actually going to support our goals.
Exactly. And law of life takes it even a step further. They suggest that we can change our reality by changing our thoughts.
Whoa.
It's a big concept.
It is, but I like it.
It's interesting, as we go through all these different sources,
Yeah.
they all seem to be converging on this idea of self-mastery.
It's true.
Whether it's about conquering fears or, controlling your thoughts or taking responsibility for your life, it all starts with mastering yourself.
And that self-mastery thing, it's not like a destination.
Right?
It's a constant journey,
It is.
Learning, growing, pushing beyond those limits that we set for ourselves.
And as challenging as that journey may be, it leads to a life of, purpose and fulfillment.
It's about figuring out what you're truly capable of and using that to create a life that's in line with what you value.
There's this line from Stay Strong, You Can Make It that keeps popping into my head. It says, you have everything you need inside of you to be a great person. It's a powerful message.
It is. It's like it speaks to that potential that's in each of us.
Yeah.
We might not always see it or even believe it sometimes.
Right.
But it's there.
And it's through facing our fears, embracing those challenges that we uncover that potential.
So as we think about all of this and get ready to jump into that last bit of source material, let's think about this. What's one specific fear that you've been, letting hold you back? And how can you use what we've talked about today, those tools, to start overcoming it and move closer to those goals?
So we've been talking about facing our fears and, really stepping up and taking control of our lives.
Right.
But the true price of success takes it even further. It really challenges us to think about what we're really willing to pay to achieve our goals.
That's a good point.
And they make this argument that it's not always about money.
Right.
Or even resources.
It's often about pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones.
Exactly. Taking risks.
Yes.
Becoming, more capable versions of ourselves.
So leveling up.
Totally.
Yeah.
And there's this one line that really resonated with me. It says, you'll never achieve those goals as you are now. You really must become a whole different person, a bigger person, a stronger, more capable person.
Yeah.
It's like we have to evolve.
I love that. It's like stepping into a new version of yourself.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's acknowledging that growth and success require us to let go of those old limitations
Yeah.
and embrace new possibilities.
Like becoming the kind of person who can actually handle the success that you're aiming for.
Exactly. And that transformation, as we've been talking about, it often comes with discomfort,
Right.
challenges,
Yeah.
even failures along the way.
But it's part of the process.
It is.
Those are the things that really shape us,
Mm-hmm.
teach us,
Yeah.
make us stronger.
It's not about avoiding the tough stuff.
No.
It's about using it as fuel for growth.
I love that.
It's not about taking the easy road. It's about embracing the challenges, knowing that they're shaping us into the people that we need to be to reach those goals.
And it all comes back to fear, doesn't it?
It does.
Because a lot of times what's holding us back is that fear of failure.
Yeah.
That fear that we're not good enough.
That voice in our head saying, what if I try and I fall flat on my face?
Exactly.
What if I'm not capable of doing this?
But we've seen time and time again in this deep dive that fear is often based on our perception, not reality.
It's about challenging those limiting beliefs.
And recognizing that we are capable of so much more than we think.
And I think it's also about realizing that failure isn't the opposite of success.
Oh, that's good.
It's part of the journey.
Each setback is an opportunity.
Exactly. It's a chance to learn, to adjust course.
And come back stronger.
As we're wrapping up this deep dive, I'm really struck by how all these sources, even though they have different perspectives, they all point towards this common theme. Taking control of our own lives.
It's true.
Whether it's about conquering our fears or mastering our thoughts or embracing challenges.
It all starts with us.
It does.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
It's about realizing that we have the power to create our own destiny.
But it takes courage.
It does.
Determination.
And a willingness to get uncomfortable.
To step outside of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
So as we leave you today, we want you to think about this.
What is one specific fear that's been holding you back?
And imagine facing that fear, head on.
With courage.
With determination. What would happen? What possibilities might open up? What can you do today to move past that fear?
It's a journey.
It is. And it might not be easy.
But it's worth it.
And you have everything you need within you to start.
That's the best part.
The power is in your hands. Well, that's it for our deep dive today. We hope you found it insightful.
And inspiring.
And until next time, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep pushing yourself to achieve your full potential.